Look at this man, y'all. Watch what he throw up. He praising them right in front of everybody's face. Watch Kai.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I ain't gonna hold you, man. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't subbed up and you come and watching on your TV, I appreciate you as well. I hope you having a smooth 7. But might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But y'all know what it is, man. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
If this ever happens to you, you need to run, get out, leave immediately, and get that thing off your ankle. This seemingly harmless gesture is something that and criminals use to mark their targets, like tying a ribbon or a bracelet around someone's ankle or wrist. It's supposed to be a distraction or a way to mark potential victims, and this is especially common at nightclubs or bars or any sort of social setting, more common to happen at night, especially in areas that are known for human trafficking activity. And these are the red flags you need to look out for if this happens to you. If you think you're potentially being this is the signs that might confirm it. If the person tying it is being overly persistent, very adamant that they have to tie this around your ankle or wrist, or if they're trying to keep you engaged, keep you staying at the place that you're at. They could also have a group working together. One person is distracting you while another person is moving in. You can see that the people tying this person are here in a bit of a group, it looks like. And then most importantly, and probably the most obvious one, is they're going to attempt to isolate you from your family or friends or whoever you came with, or pressure you into leaving with them, like going home with them. This could be like a cute guy at the bar trying to get you to come home with him. But if this happens to you or someone you know, you need to immediately remove the ribbon, stay with trusted people, and be aware of your surroundings. But honestly, I would just go to a different bar if this happened, or go home, call it a night. And if you feel unsafe, always make sure you notify security or the authorities. That's literally why they're there. Come over here for more freaky content.
Yeah, pay attention when y'all out.
Castanet went to Playboi Carti's Rolling Loud performance, and he found out just how demonic shit really get. If I was Kai in that situation, and I seen what I seen from one of Playboi Carti mans, I'm walking off the set. I don't give a fuck about no VIP. You and everybody else there that was on that Rolling Loud set was welcomed into that ritual. They even had to stop the set midway through because they said 10 people passed out. Look, y'all. People still don't understand. So as you heard, 10 people had passed out in the crowd during his set. I do not know if anybody had passed away, but that's crazy, y'all. This is the dude I'm talking about, though. Look at this. Look at this man, y'all. Watch what he throw up. He praising them right in front of everybody's face. Watch Kai. I'm telling y'all, this is what his music is about. It looked like hell on stage. I don't know what to tell y'all. That is not hip hop. That's scream hop. That's emo music. And I'm kind of upset at Kai. If you can make that face with your eyes big like this, and you like, what the is going on? Why would you still get on stage? You have the motion. You don't need that kind of motion. That shit turned that boy into an animal on stage. He ripped his tank top and everything, not knowing that that music is the reason why he was acting like that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, and share.
Hey, look, so I understand the music perspective. So I'm not gonna say I dislike Playboi Carti's music. It's just not my general selection, if y'all get what I mean. I like hip hop. I like rap. I like certain frequencies. When I hear Playboi Carti's music, it don't give me hip hop or rap. It's in its own lane. Some people like that sound. I don't like that sound. Y'all let me know, but I'ma just say he's a creative artist. But I couldn't see what that dude was throwing up on stage. But the feeling I got from watching it makes me believe that he threw up some demonic ass shit. Y'all let me know, man. Hey, spam it up. But there's certain concerts I ain't going to. And those type of concerts, those type of artists are the concerts I ain't going to. I'm straight. I'm good. I know y'all gonna grill me and be like, you shouldn't go to none of them, but yeah. I'm not. Some artists I don't think are a part of certain shit. Somebody gonna disagree with that. That's fine. But there's certain concerts, me personally, I'ma go to. There's some that I wouldn't go to. But y'all let me know y'all perspective. But don't try to sway mine. Just respect it. That's all I ask. Y'all let me know y'all side of things.
Y'all want to see something creepy? Look how foggy.
Blew my mind. Do you guys remember the story I told you guys about the doctor that died at Disney Springs? It's like a January
peanut allergy or something, right?
Yeah, peanut or dairy allergy, and they served her something with it. She died at the restaurant. Like, it was like a big deal. And apparently this guy, the husband, is trying to sue Disney Springs or Raglan Road or whoever because they felt like they were negligent, which is totally fair for a widower. This is bad. This could happen again. But apparently Disney is in court or whatever. They're having discussions because they say, listen, you've signed something that says you're not allowed to sue us. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. When did I ever sign anything? They said, well, in 2019, you signed up for a month of Disney Plus.
Shut up!
And in that contract says we are not liable for any type of thing. So you cannot bring any type of legal.
No.
Like, you can't sue us through anything.
This is going to the Supreme Court.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy.
So when you do the accept the terms and conditions,
Yeah.
It's literally like,
you can never sue Disney for anything, even on their own property. If your wife dies,
yes,
yo, Disney, get out of here.
It's crazy.
It's out of control.
Bro spotted a UFO mid-hoop session.
This nigga almost killed himself. What the is that? Look at this guy. I know y'all just seen that shit. You seen that shit, right, bro? Oh, me, I hope that shit was in the video, bro. Yeah, swear to God, bro. I don't know if that shit was in the video, but I hope it was.
TikTok may be proving that time travel, glitches in the matrix, and rips in the time-space continuum are real, in real time. We have another possibly connected story to the Maria John Doe time travel saga. If you're just joining now, basically I got an email from this woman named Maria who submitted to Spooky Scary Storytime her story about her and her siblings getting caught in this time glitch where they couldn't leave a gas station when they were driving back from Florida to Georgia. That story was wild enough. But then we got another email from a guy who used a fake name and a fake email because he said he works in a field that demands evidence-based thinking and he cannot have his name attached to this story. But he provided more context and said that he believes that his father may have been than the ghostly man that they encountered in the gas station. The thing was, his father had complained about seeing people from the future. So we have basically two sides of this same story, but nobody ever believed this guy before he died. I've still not gotten another update from him. Unfortunately, he used a fake name and a fake email, so I can't email him back in my submission form, but we're hoping he'll send a photo so that Maria can see it and confirm if it was actually the same person. So now that you're all caught up on that, we have this other email, and this person, I don't know if they want to be anonymous. They just sent this like 2 hours ago. So if you're the one that sent this, I emailed you back. Just let me know, and if you want me to update the caption with your tag, I will. But she said, when I saw your video, I immediately sent it to my ex-husband in disbelief because we know that gas station. She says they were there in 2012. She and her now ex-husband were on a road trip. They were newlyweds, and it was a sort of honeymoon. They were pretty broke. They were kids, and they were both working in the restaurant industry, so they didn't have a ton of extra money, but they just decided to do a road trip together. So they drove from Nashville to Atlanta. They went to Six Flags for a day, and then they were going to go to St. Pete, Florida, but first they stopped in Warner Robins, Georgia. Her ex's aunt and uncle lived there in a spooky old farmhouse, and they were going to spend the night with them instead of spending money to stay the night at a hotel. She said it was a really rural area, and when they left the next morning, they were headed to St. Pete, but for some reason, their GPS didn't take them back to the interstate. It took them on the most arduous route through the backwoods of the Florida-Georgia line that you could ever imagine. She said they would drive for like 2 hours, and their GPS would only show them 30 minutes closer to their destination, and it was maddening. She said this went on for 6 or 7 hours, like the GPS was barely moving. She cried more than once. In her email, she said, it felt like we were in the Twilight Zone. She said it felt like we were stuck in some rural liminal space where time moved differently. She said it felt like there was nowhere to stop. There was no food, no gas, nothing. No signs of life, just peanut and cotton fields in every direction. Finally, their gas light comes on. She has to pee so bad, and they're out of food and drink. What was supposed to be this romantic getaway ended up being this like really scary and uncomfortable situation. But finally, they see a gas station. Now, she says if she remembers correctly, this was a Citgo, or whatever has the red triangle logo. She said it looked like it hadn't been touched since the 60s. It had 2 single pumps outside with no awning. She said she's normally very picky about where she stops on road trips, but by this point she was just so desperate that she was just like, fine, just stop. She describes herself here as a sciencey atheist with a sprinkle of witchy woo-woo. She said she doesn't believe in a sky daddy situation, but does believe it's possible that energetic imprints get left behind. She said as soon as they pulled up, she was immediately overcome with this sense of dread. She said every alarm bell in her body was screaming danger. There were no signs of life. There was no sounds. It was completely silent. And she said as she stood outside the car, a tumbleweed rolled by her. She said maybe that far south, that's a thing. She said the building was not boarded up and they could have gone in, but they both looked at each other and it felt for a second like one of those old scenes from a Western movie where everything is in slow motion. They both must have felt it because they both just got back in the car. She hopped in the driver's seat and peeled out of there. She says she felt with every ounce of her intuition that if she had gone in there, she would not have come back out. As they were pulling out, they noticed that the pump said 40 cents a gallon. There's no way that that was right for 2012. Within 5 minutes, they made it back to I-75. It was near Valdosta, the same city referenced in both of the other stories. So this doesn't really make sense of how they could be driving for 6 or 7 hours, not getting any closer to their destination, and then after finding this gas station, be back on 75 within 5 minutes. She said the experience was so freaky that it became part of their like honeymoon tales when they got back. She said she and her ex put the address mentioned in the other videos into GPS, and that's pretty much exactly where it was. So if this is the same place, then it may have been a Citgo or a Citgo, the one with the red triangle. I don't know if that lines up with Maria's story, and I don't know if that lines up with John Doe's story. But I do know that something weird seems to be going on SR 376 in Georgia. Some people have been sending me photos of gas stations in the area from 2007 on Google Maps or Google Earth. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to investigate this with us. I'm going to forward those all to her right now, and then she can verify. But yeah, this is getting weird. This is getting weird, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. I promise if I get any other updates, you will be the first to know.
That would be crazy if like the grandfather was seeing people from the future. People from the future thinking they seeing a ghost when really they seeing him. That shit is just twisted to even think about. But then again, time doesn't exist, but some people do say it exists. I could definitely agree and see that situation being the case, because they say truth is stranger than fiction. I would go ahead and say that's not too far off. But the clip before that, man, okay, the UFO in the sky, cool. We seen those before. Next clip, man, ain't that crazy because I know I had Disney Plus for a second. And I know I'm not the only one in here who had Disney Plus. So you mean to tell me if some shit go wrong at Disney World, Disneyland, any of their affiliations, whatever the hell they do at their parks or wherever you at, some shit go wrong there, and you got all right to sue them, they gonna say you can't because we signed that shit? Oh man, that his wife passed away and he can't sue because they was negligent. They got all that money and they can't even sit back and just do something because of their mistake. That's the good thing to do, the right thing to do, and y'all not gonna do that. But they don't ever do that. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man.
Ever wonder why they be burying you 6 feet under and then put the cross on top? Keeping you in the resurrection spell. Keeping you constantly reincarnated. Keeping you at that crossroad. You hear me? Know what that cross represent? That Papa Legba. Keep you at the crossroads. Yeah, keep you constantly dealing with the same shit. That's why you don't bury me 6 feet under and with no cross on top. Don't do that with me. Don't even do it with me. If it ain't the don't even do it with me, you hear me? Better know what you're dealing with, baby. Yeah, putting them symbols on top of your gravesite. Burying 6 feet under, huh? I wonder why. Then they burying you next to people you don't even know. Some of y'all be getting buried next to people that's got nothing to do with your life. I'm good.
Do you ever hear about those people that get birthed through like a dolphin seance? What the? Yeah, so there's people that if they're pregnant, they'll take them and have births with a dolphin present. Yo, it's crazy because it's low-key real.
Yeah.
Dolphins, you know how they have like sonar and different frequencies? Having a dolphin will increase brain development in a child if they're present during a birth. There's ancient paintings.
Where there's like a pregnant woman and dolphins around her?
Yeah, bro. There was a company that was running it, offering the, what would you call it? I guess like the event to happen. Offering the assisted birth to happen with a dolphin.
Yeah.
So check this out, right? What celebrity do you think is a dolphin kid?
Oh.
Look-y. Just look at Elon Musk. This guy has to be a dolphin birth, bro.
Yo, Elon for sure.
Look at Mark Zuckerberg and tell me he's not a dolphin birth, bro.
Yo.
He's definitely a dolphin birth.
So just geniuses. Like,
Is that a far reach? I know people gonna be getting at how they look. I'm not trying to go there. I'm not trying to vibrate there. I get it. It's funny. I want to, but I'm trying to be a little bit more mature than that. So, would y'all think based off their intelligence levels, they were birthed by dolphins, or was some other shit? And y'all remember that nobody was hurt in the hospital that little clinic or whatever they had that allowed dolphin births, and they closed it. And y'all know it's not cool for us to do that. It's against the law for us to communicate with them. That's crazy, right? Y'all want that rabbit hole? I did see our comments. I was in the comments. I did see y'all want more gnomes, duendes, stuff like that. Y'all want them rabbit holes. So we'll dive deeper down that. We'll dive. So y'all let me know. But yeah. How y'all feel about Zuckerberg and Elon? Damn.
I'm just stand back in front of the window. This is a follow-up from my previous videos. This is my house. This is my bedroom. Being harassed, electronically harassed, the directed energy weapon systems. This is because I've spoken out against the agenda. It's being beamed through my bedroom window at night time when I sleep. I'm currently standing in front of the window, but watch what happens when I stand outside of the window. Watch the frequency meter just there. I'm going to step back into the window frame again to block the signal. Step outside of it again.
Is that a far reach to y'all? Or no?
So I've never been more terrified in my life, and I'm not joking. I was just running through the woods like I do every morning, and I passed this intimidatingly tall Asian man, and he was just singing this eerily peppy song about sunny days in the dark by himself. And as I passed him, he continued singing, and his voice was echoing off of the trees, and I could feel the hair on my neck standing up because I got the chills. Oh god, that's embarrassing. That was just a bird. I'm gonna go home before I get...
Here are my top do not watch horror movies, unless you want to be utterly disturbed or genuinely uncomfortable. Also beware, there is very strong imagery in some of these, so just so you know. Let's start off very strong with a very weird one. Not sure if I want to recommend this one. I don't know. But it is the 1979 Belgian horror Harpia. Harpia is a very visually terrifying short film about a man that sees another man fighting with a harpy. Harpy meaning a bird with a woman's face. Saves the harpy and then tries to live with her. However, this harpy has a very wild appetite, and I'm just gonna leave it there because it's only 8 minutes long and the ending is kind of interesting. If you're thinking of watching this one, it is very avant-garde, so you can see some stuff, but artistically, it's artistically done. I don't know, I kind of liked this one. You can find this one on YouTube for free. And for number 2, let's go with one that is very visually graphic, but very fun to watch. I've recommended it before, but I think more people need to watch it. It is the 2020 short horror film, Make Me a Sandwich, which is about this sweet old couple that are just hanging out at home, but the husband always wants his wife to make him a sandwich. She very quickly starts getting tired of his tone and attitude towards her, that she resorts to wild measures. And that's all I'm gonna leave it at because it's only 3 minutes long. If you're squeamish, I don't know if you should watch this one, but it is a must watch in the short horror film genre. You can watch this one for free on YouTube. Last but not least, let's go with a dreadful horror that you guys keep telling me to put in my lists. Trust me, I've talked about it before, but I'll include it in this one too. The terrifying 2018 Other Side of the Box. This one just kind of changed my life. Like, I'm not even being dramatic right now. Like, all of my friends that talk about horror movies always recommend this one. Shout out to you guys. The Other Side of the Box is about this man that's just hanging out at home with his girl, but then suddenly there's a knock at the door and it is his old pal. And what do you know? His old pal shows up with a gift, which is an empty box. The friend quickly leaves, but him and his girl realize that there's something or someone trying to get out of the box. And that's all I'm gonna say. But if you've seen it, you know how terrifying this one is. This one is 15 minutes long, but it uses those 15 minutes very efficiently. You're just gonna be anxious and dreading through the whole entire thing. Also, I didn't know this, but the writers are Caleb J. Phillips and Nick Tagg. And Nick Tagg is the main actor in this, so that's pretty cool. Good job, guys. And yeah, those are my top do not watch horror movies that are gonna make you uncomfortable. Trying to mix in everything there for you guys. I hope you guys like the short horror movie recommendations too, mixed in with the long horror movie recommendations. But let me know if you guys have any more horror movies that you do or do not recommend to me. I love to check them out and I love to watch them with you guys over on my Twitch and YouTube. So, okay, thank you for watching. Good luck with your nightmares. Okay, bye. Thank you.
So now you're telling me that we just weren't going to talk about the fact that there have been portal sightings apparently all over the world? So you didn't think that was something we should talk about? Because yeah, there's apparently been a lot of stories about portals just showing up all around the world, including some stories of accusations of a religious figure of sorts opening a portal. I don't know how I feel about that one. But yeah, there's been all of these portal sightings, and most recently, the video that I just watched that inspired me to make this video was a guy filming a portal, and he's got it on film, and then all of a sudden an old-timey plane, that's all I can say, comes out of the portal, which had got me thinking, what if what's on the other side of those portals, like their technology is in fact advanced and it's super technologically more advanced than ours, but once they enter into our universe, it goes into something that would be categorized as unharmful or something that wouldn't instill fear. So I was like, so now I fell, obviously you can tell, down the portal rabbit hole. And yeah, have you fallen down the portal rabbit hole yet? Because now I want to talk about this because there's so much to talk about. So remember, conversation and entertainment purposes. But yeah, let me know. Let's have this conversation.
Conversation, entertainment purposes. We went down the portal rabbit hole, not too crazy, but would y'all like to? Because I would. I definitely would. But what if people in the future has crazy technology to the point where they can open the portals? And what if CERN's job is to control that? Part of their job is to control that, so we don't never know that we could time travel, go back and forth and fix shit. or fight shit. Conversation for entertainment purposes. This for YouTube's guidelines. Y'all let me know if that's a reach.
France is asking for the Statue of Liberty back, y'all. They want their statue back. Y'all could go and look up the title of this article. It's titled, Donald Trump ordered to return the Statue of Liberty after mass sackings. For those of you who may not know, the Statue of Liberty was created by a French artist, and it was gifted to the United States about 140 years ago. Now, because of all of this bullshit that Donald Trump has gotten the United States involved in, a French lawmaker actually suggested, how about y'all just give us back the statue? How about you give her back? Return her back home. Raphael Glucksmann said, we're going to say to the Americans who have chosen to side with the tyrants, to the Americans who fired researchers for demanding scientific freedom, give us back the Statue of Liberty. Oh. He goes on to say, we gave it to you as a gift, but apparently you despise it. So it will be just fine here at home. This is more from Glucksmann. You want to fire your best researchers. If you want to fire all the people who, through their freedom and their sense of innovation, their taste of doubt and research, have made your countries the world's leading power, then we're going to welcome them. Again, just giving you guys a little back story. The Statue of Liberty was originally supposed to be a black woman who was shackled with chains, and it was supposed to represent the new freed black people that emerged from the Americas. At the inscription of her feet reads, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And we already know with the whole French Revolution and everything like that, they don't really like to be silenced. They don't like the idea of citizens, the masses, being silenced. And because the Statue of Liberty is supposed to be a symbol of liberty, justice, and democracy, they feel like everything that Trump is doing right now is a direct slap in the face to what the Statue of Liberty represents. And so they want her back. I told you that Donald Trump is going to be accredited in history as probably one of the worst presidents of the United States. And the fact that they want to come back, the French want to come back and take a gift that was gifted to the United States 140 years ago, something that is literally synonymous with the United States of America. I'm telling you, America is doomed, bro. It's over. It's over. Say goodbye to being a leading world power. It's a wrap.
I wanted to add something. So I seen multiple articles, and it's everywhere. Is this true that Trump has taken out segregation and now that's able to happen again? I'm just asking, because I deal with so many comments of people saying I push division, and I got a question about some shit that I know for sure would push division. If that was to be taken out and that's able to happen again, is that or is that not pushing division? So is that true? Can y'all let me know? But how they gonna give something and then take it? Then it's not a true gift. And that's whether you want to call it the Statue of Liberty or your ass want to call it the light bearer. Which one y'all want to choose? Spam it up, let me know.
A lot of people probably don't want to hear this, but before men was created, this planet was controlled by all women. Eve did not come out of the rib of Adam. Stop it. Only life forms that give birth is women. Right or wrong? They said Jesus died for our sins so we can live better. Well, the only person that can die while giving birth is a woman. So was Jesus really a woman? The woman or the goddess is the only one that will sacrifice her life to bring more life onto this planet. How many stories have you heard of a woman dying while giving birth? That is the ultimate sacrifice. The reason why this planet is vibrating at a low frequency is because man made history and rewrote her story. We need to go back to the goddess. It's the reason why this planet is called Mother Earth and not Father Earth. Think about it. When they say God said, let's make man in our image, our likeness, they were speaking about woman. Woman created man so they can protect her. Yes, we were supposed to be the protectors of the goddess, but now you see men beating up the woman, men disrespecting the woman, which you forgot that we came from her, out of her womb. Do it make sense? The same life forms that's destroying everything on this planet right now. The goddess made us so we can fight them, but we started fighting the goddess. You ever wonder why there's no women presidents in United States? Why women don't have no rights? It's 2025 and people still believe that bullshit story that Eve came out of the rib of Adam, when you can clearly see in 2025 that woman is the only one that give birth to men and women. Once we mature spiritually and see what's really going on, we will understand that woman is the only life form that give. Just how the planet Earth give. The goddess will always give, even when she don't want to, but she have to. When the enemy came to this planet, it brung the moon with him, and the moon is connected directly to the goddess. It take over her currency or her energy, replace her subconscious. The goddess never had a period until the moon came here. The goddess never had cramps till the moon came here. If you notice that the moon controls all the currency on this planet, that's the goddess. When the goddess water break, she is controlling the currency. You notice how they lied to us and said that we gotta go to church to get baptized? No, we are baptized inside of the mother's womb. This planet is vibrating so low because the goddess is still asleep. The moon put her to sleep. It's only so much I can say about these topics. So if you want to know more, check out my ebook. My link is in my bio.
He spoke on that previously. How y'all feel, man?
We don't see mythical creatures anymore because I believe they have been consuming those mythical creatures and keeping them trapped. I know how that sounds, but I've shared with you guys about the bones and biologics, right? In this book, similar to the book in The Discovery of the Witches, that allows them access to a whole lot. But it never occurred to me that they had mythical creatures. I've been seeing videos about them eating mermaids, them eating mermaids, right? And something felt true about it, but like, I don't know why I wouldn't let myself look at it very much. Well, yesterday I did a reading and it was a very weird reading. These are our group readings as part of our spirit school. So they're much deeper readings. You have about 10 people reading you. And these are like, I train really strong readers. Like I train very strong readers, right? And so we're reading this woman and we realized that she was a vampire in a past life, but not the way we think of vampire, not draining blood. They drain loosh. They feed off of loosh, right? Especially of babies, right? And so she hurts this woman's child. She's like a smiley demon. You know, she looks like a smiley demon, but she's a vampire. Like she is a vampire, right? And during the whole reading, I kept seeing, Spirit kept saying she's being hunted. Now, I didn't understand until later that they're hunting mythical creatures for their power. When we talk about fairy dust, what do you think it is? Right now, they're saying it's just ground up, dehydrated fairy. It's just fairy. No wonder so many mythical creatures have been in hiding. That's what I've been seeing. Oh my God. They've been in hiding. And I also want to tell you guys something else that might seem a little, it's racial sensitive, you guys. Today, the woman that I read yesterday was a Black woman. And I'm looking at all this power that she has as a vampire. I've been seeing this a lot in Black folks, a lot of power, right? I think the reason we reincarnated into Black bodies was to learn how to manage our power. I think that's exactly why. And I think we were, and look, the reverse is going to be true too. So you peep that out for yourself. But I think we came back to learn our power, right? To learn to better manage our power, to better control our power. And you're forced to do that when you are born into a more oppressive meat suit. So I think there's a lot of mythical creatures that are existing within Black bodies, and they have been in hiding for a long time, hiding who they really are. But this, and so Spirit just now gave me that download. I think they have them somewhere. They've been feasting on them. They've been experimenting. They've been reverse engineering them. They've been using them. You wonder how they powered their magic. I think this is exactly how, because they didn't have it of their own. They would have needed to steal someone else's.
Shout out to Joey, man. Joey sent that to me. He part of the collective. He sent that to me and was like, hey, bro, you need to check this one out. He said, it's gonna ruffle some feathers, but it's worth to have this conversation Y'all let me know if that's a far ass reach about mythical creatures and everything she talking about, or is it not? But shout out to Joey, because he said you gonna hear this one, bro, and you probably ain't heard this perspective before, but if you open-minded enough, you're gonna check this out and you're gonna like it. And you're gonna listen to it. Just tell me what you think. And from that one, it's like a 50-50. I could see that happening, but it's a far ass reach, man. But I could see it happening. And then again, I always go back to that quote: truth is stranger than fiction. So just because I don't think it's facts, because it's too strange, that's when the shit be coming real. So, but again, y'all let me know. Shout out to Joey, man. Y'all showing some love.
We just moved into our house last October, and we just noticed this. So this is our window in our dining room. Notice there's nothing above it. So I'm gonna take you outside to the same window. This is that same window, and there's the window above it. There's still a sticker on it. It's completely sheetrocked over. Just want to know how that happens.
So I saw a TikTok this morning that literally gave me chills, and of course now I cannot find the creator and I cannot find the video. But in short, this guy was saying that it is not uncommon for him to wake up at 2:22 in the morning. So the other day, he wakes up at 2:22 in the morning. He's in his kitchen with his dog. All of a sudden, he says he starts to feel his entire body tense up, and then his head completely jerks backwards. He finds himself in some sort of room, and all these voices are chattering. And one of the voices says they're starting to wake up. So the guy, he says, "Hello?" All of a sudden, all the voices stop chattering, and he is sent back to his kitchen where his dog was. And his dog is just staring at him like, what was that? Then the guy starts to feel his body tensing up again, and his head jerks backwards. He's back in this meeting with all these chattering voices, and again he says, "Hello?" Jerked back into his kitchen, into reality. Now, by the third time, this guy knows that something's going on that's not normal, and he's like trying to fight it, but it happens for a third time. This third time, instead of saying hello, he says, "I can hear you." All of the voices that were chattering stopped, and one of them said, "This one is more powerful. This one is waking up. They're all starting to wake up. This one is more powerful." And then he got jerked back into his body for the final time. I don't know why this video resonated with me and gave me chills, but I have been thinking about it all day. Where did this guy go? What meeting was he a part of? I believe him. I believe him that this happened. But like, I want to find his account so I can see his other videos, and I can't find his account. So, there's that.
I think he probably was messing around with the portals with CERN on accident.
And not because of DEI or eggs being too expensive in groceries. No. Not because of that. And before you go, "Oh, we all know America's skip the next video." No, stay. Especially if you haven't traveled outside the United States in the last few months before Trump got elected. So currently I'm in Ireland. And literally the day I took off, the whole thing with Zelensky and JD Vance and Trump happened. And I kind of ignored it because I've been, when you go on a trip, you're not trying to hear all that, which is also the problem, but I'm going to get into that later. Wow, this pimple is frying me. Okay. What I realized is this country is not only because of domestic issues, it's because of foreign and external issues. The American media has not been telling us the whole story about anything at all. And I've only realized that after I've left the country, because now I'm in taxis, I'm in places, they play the news. And it's not looking good for Americans. If you weren't aware, Trump basically just insulted the whole European Union. by what he said, and so did JD Vance. Basically, they wanted Ukraine to take half responsibility for the Ukrainian and Russian war. Yeah, but in your mind, you're going, isn't Trump and Russia, aren't they? Yeah, wake up. Like, you're tariffing Mexico and Canada. Think. You guys need to start thinking. But I bring up Canada because I was just watching a few videos on my FYP, and there was a Canadian creator that is basically saying that Canada is gearing up for war. War. I'll tag her if I can find her. But herein lies the problem. They know what they are doing when they distract us with taking away DEI, with grocery prices being so high, all these things. These are domestic issues, and they know Americans are inherently selfish. Global policy means nothing to Americans until the next world war is knocking at our door. I don't know about y'all, but I'm exhausted of living in unprecedented times. Like, since 99, if I could just name a few of the things that have happened that are unprecedented. 9/11, them random ass Iraq and Afghanistan wars where they wanted what? More resources. COVID-19, having a reality TV star become our president, not once, but twice. Having a woman run for president, not once, but twice, and losing, not once, but twice. A billionaire throwing up a salute, and we're just brushing by it like it never happened. Removing Roe v. Wade and affirmative action. I could go on all day, but then we'd be here all day and I wouldn't get to go on my excursions, so yeah, no. All I'm saying is we don't know things in the world because we are selfish. And the government has preyed on that selfishness for us not to care about anything that they're doing. Spend one day on an unorganized blackout business day. There's no organization. Nobody wants to be organized. And I keep asking myself, like, what do I do? What do I do? And the answer is I have no idea. That's the problem. I have no idea how to help. Literally, our Congress people don't work for us anymore. We elect them and then they get to office and they don't do shit. Corporations, they never cared, but they super don't care at all. They said, oh, DEI? Clipped? Copy. But if we do go to war, which is probably coming up soon, what's even crazier is we're not going to war because we need to go to war. Oh, of course not. We're going to war to placate the egos of men that will be safe in their mansions, laughing at us as we die over nothing but ego. Not because we're fighting for democracy, not because we're fighting for healthcare, social security, free education. We're not fighting for any of that. We're fighting because Trump is a whiny baby who lost the election one time and wants to make the world pay for what we did to him. That's all I can think that this is about. So please, I say to you, capitalism doesn't work. It doesn't. It's literally proving right now our point that it doesn't work. People like Elon Musk, who isn't even a citizen of this country, isn't a citizen, can come and infiltrate our government to do what he thinks is best. This idea that you can build wealth, it's dead. You can't build it. Either you have it or you don't. Because even me, I've been getting a steady pay raise at my job. I can't even afford to live in my own apartment. It's giving blush blindness, but whatever. I don't know, y'all. But either way, if you are taking in your news from a source that is just American news, I need you to branch out because they're not telling you the full truth. We haven't had free media in this country for quite some time. I know it's easy for us to focus on issues that directly affect us, but the problem is that hasn't gotten us anywhere ever, ever. The only time that we have been successful in revolution is if you actually start caring about other things that don't directly affect you. I do want to end up this video on a different note. I didn't vote for that man, so I didn't vote for him. So for the people that did and you're regretting it now, we told you months ago. We told you months ago. And look what you've done. Look what you've done. Bye.
Yo, this is crazy. That demon face syndrome that everybody talking about, that shit is here, yo. I seen a woman last night, yo, her face. Yo, first of all, if you don't know what I'm talking about, hit the search engine and look up demon face syndrome. I'm telling you right now, if you're not prayed up or if you don't have things right, man, get right, yo, because these people are walking amongst us, yo. I was coming out of Walmart last night and just so happened to look to my left and I seen this woman, she had a blur all in her face, so I'm thinking my eyes is bothering me. I look a little closer and sure enough, I could see the demon in her face. Yo, that demon face syndrome is real. These are real people. They're walking amongst us. I can't believe that I actually seen one last night. I have been looking at the videos and reading up on this for a minute, but to actually see one, yo, that kind of bothered me real bad. I'm telling y'all right now, if y'all not right with the Lord, man, it's time to start getting your soul together, because these people are real and these people are actually walking amongst us.
Oh, I was in Walmart too, and this lady was following from the plate aisle to the food aisles, all through Walmart. I seen her staring, and I was telling myself, breathe. Because I see you staring and that shit's about to trigger me, especially if I see you in one more aisle and you don't got shit in your cart. It's about to trigger me and I'm about to lose it. And then when I seen her face, I was just telling myself there wasn't an ounce of fear, but nothing but it would have been an impulsive ass reaction. And I was just telling myself over and over, breathe, just get what you need and get the hell out. Because if this person gets too close and trigger you, this shit about to go real left. And I ain't see it for the rest of the store. I got up out the aisle and I was gone. I was waiting to see where he said he saw this at. And when he said Walmart, I'm just thinking, like, is Walmart like a hub for the weirdest shit? Man, y'all let me know, bro. That shit crazy. But have you ever seen something like this? Have you not? Have you experienced it? How would you react if you haven't seen it yet? And yeah, I want to hear it all, man. Spam that shit up.
A real nation. Our own nation, right here. I want to see families roaming all over this place. Yeah. We don't want to turn into no ghetto now.
You automatically knew you was in a different place.
What he did, it was always for the children.
No one wins the race.
If you look at the way that he was bringing people together of all races,
we was doing for ourselves.
When the Muslims talk about Mecca, he said, I got my own Mecca. The Jews start talking about Jerusalem, he said, I got my own Jerusalem. I got my own holy city. I have my own prayer. We will have our own stuff. Amen. We need our own gynecologists, dermatologists, ophthalmologists. We need our own shoemakers, hat makers.
As they want to build farms, as they want to build hotels on their property, as they want to have entertainment facilities on their property.
To me, it seems like they're trying to take over.
They saw him building a small nation here.
It's going to be about 1,000 acres of land for our people.
The New Orleans are going to change the political dynamics of the county.
We would be the only organization that provides the healing for the world.
You want to talk about a media blackout? How about the fact that not one national news station has covered the Veterans March that happened in Washington, D.C. and around the country? Thousands of veterans gathering to protest this administration, and it wasn't covered.
Of course it wasn't covered, bro. This shit's crazy.
Maybe this a reach. I don't know. But why is it that every time somebody dies on Zeus Network, they like never talk about it? Like they don't even show in memory of at the end of it. Because I've been saying this to myself for a long time. When B. King passed away, and if you in Houston, you know. You feel me? Every episode of Baddies, they playing that song. I understand Natalie's featured, but it's like, why not show your condolences? I'm pretty sure there's things that you've done behind the scenes, and I speak on the whole Zeus Network for that. But it's like, why hasn't there been anything said, like, separately, like, to the world, like, rest in peace, Godzilla? Because, bitch, we outside tonight. That's just a feature. Nat, you're just a feature. We been screaming that shit before he put you on a remix. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't, I don't know. I don't want to speak because, but And it's like, even with the dude that passed away, the veneer tech, I knew that the veneer tech dude passed away way before I even saw Erica Mena's story, or show, shall I say, because of social media. Like, if you watching this show, you wouldn't even know that this man is gone. Like, you wouldn't even know that he's unalived. But here we go with Now That's TV. And it's like they are, as a community, as a network, coming together for Crystal's husband that passed away. It's like the difference is clear as day. Then let's not get on the girl that supposedly was going out there to audition for Baddies or Baddies Gone Wild.
Quick question. Why Zeus got us watching dead people? Like, there's no disclaimer. We don't get anything. We gotta find out months, maybe years later, after we are already invested with the characters that we were just watching that we did not know were deceased. I don't know how to feel about that. I ain't even gonna front. It's a little creepy. Like, so I didn't really get to tap into the Erica Mena show. I've been seeing like a lot of stuff in the blogs with the Pied Piper, Aaron the plumber, and some of his interviews, and some of the people that he was cool with on the show and how they are no longer here. Then I seen an interview from Erica Mena with her shades on, and she was talking about, the people that passed away on the show, and I'm like, whoa. So we watching dead people on your season and nobody says anything? It's weird. Very weird.
They won't let me show you his face, but everybody's new favorite Yahtzee, you know who I'm talking about, that fake pro gamer, he had a meltdown on Fox News. I've tried to upload it 3 times. It's been shadow banned every time. Please, go watch him have nothing to say when they ask him how is it going, because he realizes no amount of money is going to save him now.
Last night, I started off by researching Hooters getting bankrupted by private equity and ended up uncovering the next 2008 level economic collapse. And they're hiding the bubble inside a private equity black box that makes it almost impossible to see what they're doing. Almost. This time, they're not going to collapse the banks and make it too big to fail. They're going to bankrupt the entire American pension system. I'm almost too afraid to make this video, but it has to be done, so let's get into it. In 2008, investors and bankers were able to crash the world's economy by engaging in risky, unethical bets and investments, and they did it right out in the open. They've learned, and this time they're doing it again. Bigger investments, bigger risks, same playbook, but they're doing it behind the smokescreen of private equity in bigger numbers. They're creating a bigger bubble than before, and it's not somewhere down the road. It's here, and it's about to pop. You see, for the last month, I've been trying to figure out why these companies that private equity had acquired were failing even though they were still succeeding. Joann's, 97% of their stores are still profitable, and yet they're still bankrupt. But they weren't bankrupt a year ago, and they still had the debt that private equity had stacked on them a year ago. So I wanted to know what changed. The same thing with Hooters. The same thing with... Now in 2024, private equity bankrupted 110 businesses. And that was almost double their previous record. There had been huge increases in the amount of bankruptcies each year over the past 3 years. But I didn't know what had changed because private equity had held many of these businesses for several years and they were still succeeding. Until I got my hands on an economic report and an article and found a term that nobody could explain to me. The term was back floating rate loans. I didn't know what that meant, and no article would explain it to me. So I had to go and do research in the financial prospectuses of a bunch of financial investment firms. Guys, in the last few years, private equity has taken out $3.8 trillion in adjustable rate loans. These are adjustable rate loans. These private equity firms took out adjustable rate loans. And so for the last 3 years, as our interest rates have gone up, every 30 to 60 days, the money due on the loans they stacked on top of these companies has gone up every 30 to 60 days. That's why these successful companies that private equity had acquired are suddenly bankrupt, even though they're still making money. They're bankrupt because they're paying adjustable rate loans. But it doesn't stop there. It gets so much worse, because my next question is, why are the banks willing to give these risky loans to these private equity firms knowing it's going to cause them to fail? And the answer is because the banks aren't going to keep them on their books. The banks are immediately repackaging these adjustable rate loans as something called CLOs, right? Which are then packaged and sold off to our pension funds as really great debt. And they tell them that it's a diversified portfolio. Are you hearing The Big Short in real time? Literally, all of these companies are getting bankrupted in greater and greater numbers. And all of this debt is adjustable rate. And all of the bankruptcies are skyrocketing in this direction. And now, if you look at this graph, you can see that aside from 2020, which is obviously an anomaly, right now, private equity, that's the yellow section, has double the highest number of bankruptcies they'd ever had prior to last year. And that number is climbing this year, $3.8 trillion. $3.8 trillion in this debt, okay? I want you to look back to 2008. Do you want to know how many risky adjustable rate mortgages there were? $1.1 trillion. Do you want to know how many subprime but not quite as bad loans there were? $1.3 trillion. That was just in housing. In the $3.8 trillion held by private equity, they own the largest shares of the home ownership market in the United States, but they also own the daycares. They own the veterinary clinics. They own the pet stores. They own the nursing homes. They own the emergency rooms. They own the doctor's offices, the orthodontists. They own the builders. They own the HVAC companies. This isn't just housing. It's going to touch every single industry around us. And that is why, if this were a free market and private equity had not exploitatively gotten involved, if we had a free market and we could see what they were doing, these companies would be succeeding. If this were actually a free market, these companies would be succeeding. Joann's has 97% of their stores profitable. That is an astronomical number. 97% of a retail store is profitable. And they are failing, and they are closing every store. And it is further consolidating an already consolidated environment. And now there are thousands and thousands of employees that will not have jobs. And there are thousands of other businesses that are going through the exact same thing right now. And why? Because they know we will never allow the banks to be bailed out again. We would literally riot in the streets. But we're definitely going to allow them to bail out the pensions, because that's our grandparents. That's our parents. That's the working class. They know that this will get bailed out. And because there's no regulatory authority, there are no laws stopping private equity from doing whatever they want, they know they can get away with it. And we can't do anything to stop them. And you need to understand is this wasn't done by accident. This was done by blatant, intentional greed. The private equity firms wanted the cheapest debt they could get. And they believed arrogantly that the debt would stay cheap forever. They had 0% interest rate loans for ages. And so they took on these adjustable rate notes thinking what? They could keep refinancing forever out of it. It was arrogant. But it also meant that they got to collect bigger fees because they were taking risky debt that cost less. The bankers were happy to give them because they got higher fees on offering bad debt. They were going to get paid no matter what. At the same time, the private equity firms mandated in their contracts with these companies they acquired that they were advisors and that they were a management company. So they also get paid that way. And then they sold the land out from under these companies and all their assets and made themselves whole before any of this even began. They're already cash positive. The banks knew they wouldn't be held accountable because they were going to bundle it up and pass it off to the pensions. And even the pensions were reckless because they're buying these mechanisms because when you purchase into private equity, when you purchase private equity debt as a pension, you get to put on your books, especially if you have an underfunded pension, the projected gains for 10 years, which means for 10 years, it looks like that pension is more shored up than it is. And at the end of that 10 years, when it's time for that fund to close out, suddenly then all of the bad debt comes crashing down on the pension. But at that point, there's a new leader on the pension fund and they've kicked the can down the road. So even they were reckless. But at the bottom of all of this is the bankrupting of the fabric of our society. We are losing our businesses. We are losing our doctors. We are losing our orthodontists. We are losing our nursing homes. We are losing our funeral homes. And one by one, they're going to fall under the weight of this really horrible adjustable rate debt. And nobody is talking about it. I could only find 2 articles in very obscure financial magazines that even talk about these back floating rate loans. I have never been more terrified. And I talk about private equity a lot. I have a lot to say. But right now, all I want to do is get someone to pay attention that can make a difference in this, because we have a problem. We're not without any hope at all. Right now, private equity is only allowed to be this exploitative because they exist under something called the carried interest loophole, something that multiple Congresses have tried to close, but private equity continues to bribe politicians to fail to actually achieve. Trump, 3 weeks ago, said he wanted to close the carried interest loophole. I thought he was doing it as a fundraising maneuver. But he's doubled down on it repeatedly. If we can make enough noise about this, maybe we can get him to actually see it through and end private equity's stranglehold on our population. There's so much more that we have to go through, so this is going to be a multi-part series. But if you're new here, my name is Tiffany. We work together to fight private equity and save small businesses in our community, and it's going to take every single one of us to do so. So do all the things and stick around.
Now, that was a lot to unpack. To my small business owners, how are y'all doing? Struggling? Y'all able to stay afloat? Let me know. But this is a completely new world and rabbit hole I'm gonna be diving down. So y'all let me know how y'all feel. I don't think none of that shit is right. But damn. I mean, Joann's, we did hear Joann's was closing. But it's so many stores. I remember that clip we posted where it's so many stores that was closing up. I'm not mistaken. Conscious Juice posted it. Shout out to Conscious Juice. But this shit's crazy, man. But of course they was gonna learn. And of course they repeat history. I seen a comment, somebody else said all these fires is going on. It's just the great fires starting all over again. As well as with the 15-minute cities and all that shit like that. They flooded us, they throwing fires. They always repeat history to people who don't know it. And it's always a greater number of people who don't know the history. So it's easier for them to go ahead and redo this shit again. But maybe that's a reach on my end. Y'all let me know.
Wait, you're telling me Earth was harvested generations ago? And we're just survivors of a world that doesn't even exist anymore?
I mean, hell yeah. The Earth you think you know. It's a simulation, a digital reconstruction designed to keep us calm.
No, that's insane. I've walked the streets, felt the sun on my skin.
Fabricated. Every memory, every sensation, programmed. We're not on a planet. We're drifting, floating in deep space, locked inside escape pods. We left Earth a long time ago.
That's impossible. If this was true, why don't we remember?
Because they wiped it. They put us in hyperbolic sleep chambers and fed us this illusion, a hyper-realistic, digitally rendered world that mimics Earth, just so we wouldn't panic.
But, you know, how?
Have dual-side access. I can break the simulation. I can wake everyone up.
Wait, just like that? Are you sure that's a good idea?
Brother, they're asleep. They don't even know exists. You think they'll choose to wake up?
Reminds me of the Matrix, but it don't feel the same.
Kendrick Lamar mentioned us on Carti's new album.
Okay, here we go. please don't be a troll. Please don't
I'm
be a
not
troll.
trolling.
Okay,
I'm not trolling. Okay, don't get too excited though.
Yeah.
Because it's not that big of a deal. But he did deadass mention us.
How?
So Kendrick Lamar on I think the song is called Good Credit.
Yeah, like
He dissed Drake again, bro. He dissed Drake. This guy's he's dragging at this point he's dragging it.
He's dragging it.
He's dragging it. He's doing tricks on that shit. Like, bro, come on. Go to bed.
Yeah.
It's already slept. You know what I mean? Now, he said in his diss to Drake in this like little verse he had on Good Credit, he says, second, I'm gonna make sure. He says, "Say Kenny been heavy out west. I carry the weight. I'm Luka Doncic." Remember that?
Yeah.
That line? And he goes, Conspiracy theories are given, but I must admit you got the wrong person. All right, so let's break it down. Let's break it down.
Conspiracy theories are given.
Conspiracy theories, you got the wrong person.
Yeah.
So the conspiracy theory we talked about on TikTok that went like 24 mil.
The X one.
The one talking about X.
Okay, you got the wrong person.
You got the wrong person because who went to trial for X's death? Someone else. You got the wrong person. Conspiracy theories are given. you got the wrong person. He's mentioning that theory that we talked about.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I mean, that shit did go viral. Drake also in his freestyle.
No, that's a different track. So that's 8 a.m. in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
Drake might have dissed us before.
Facts.
I don't know for sure, but he said like conspiracy theories. I'm letting them fly on 8 a.m. in Charlotte. You guys can like go listen to it and let us know. He goes, you young boys better put that money aside. Not having enough to pay your taxes a federal crime. And he goes like conspiracy theories. Think I'm gonna let it fly. I'm gonna hit you guys till I'm 75.
Some shit like that. I don't know though. Automatically,
I don't know though.
When a rapper says conspiracy theories, we gotta be like a talking point, fam, because we're the only ones saying this shit.
Yeah,
about the rappers.
We could be like this right now. We could be reaching it. Realistically, I'm having fun.
Hey, that's funny. Shout out to the Jumpers Jump podcast, man. K-Dot watch conspiracies. That ain't surprising. He ever watched my conspiracies? I'm going crazy. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm going crazy. But whoever Drake talking about, whoever he talking about, until he comes out and says that minor line and all that type of shit is cap and false, and he can prove it, I can't rock with the dude, bro. I can't rock with him. I can't. Mr. Aubrey Graham, I can't rock with him. But if he come out and say whatever he ever come out and show that proof, hey, we can have a conversation. I could listen to bro again. But until that time, I just can't. He in the same category as R. Kelly. But R. Kelly can't never come back from that. It's just what it is. Diddy wasn't ever a rapper, so can't really say Diddy. You just can't rock with nothing he was doing. But it's like, yeah, this shit is crazy. But how y'all feel, man? Was that a reach? Is it a reach or is it not?
Melody, focus.
Focus, baby girl. I'm over here. Look. What are you looking at? There's nothing over there.
Nah, I'm gonna say that one's cap. Y'all let me know.
That's how we know you just a conquistador, baby. And you don't have nothing to do with the indigenous people in the Americas. Because as you can see here, this is a real-time picture of the Taino, whose real name is the Lukukairi. As you can see here, because I don't have no problem schooling you Caucasian people that came to the Americas, started speaking Latin, and now you're acting like you know the history of the Americas. You're not from here. As you can see here, the Lukukairi is what the people call themselves, the people of the islands. That's what that means. Here's a zoomed in picture to that famous painting that was drawn from life of the Lukukairi or the Taino people. See, what you don't know is that the kings controlled the mainland from the islands. You don't know that because you're not from here. That's a proven fact in my own genealogy. The Dunbars, we had castles in Antigua, which is in the islands, boss. By the way, this is a map that the Asians drew before the Caucasian people even came to the Americas. When you zoom down into it, you'll see Cuba, and it says, here is the King of Spain. His islands, there is much gold in the Caribs that eat men. See, you ain't from here, so you don't really know the real histories and can't prove nothing that you're talking about. The so-called Black Americans and the so-called Puerto Ricans who are the real Bodine Kane, the Valley Noble Lords, which is a branch of the Taino or the Lukukairi, who is all Arawa Indians, the same people, literally are all the same folks, my friend. You don't know what you're talking about because you come from the conquistadors and you ain't even from here.
My sister just sent me a picture of something that her home video camera picked up while they were away at a softball game. I need somebody to tell me what this thing is.
So, the clip before that, y'all heard what Rashad Jamal said before, right? I know y'all have. Now, I don't condone going to checking the look, but he saying nothing there. But I don't condone going to look, because I ain't going to look, and I don't advise nobody else to. This for entertainment purposes and for YouTube's guidelines. But I also want to say, this last clip reminds me, I'm on YouTube searching, right? Y'all ever heard of, y'all know the word that starts with an M when you unalive somebody? That first word that starts with an M, mountain. It's out by Humboldt, Mendocino, all that, out here in California. I was watching a video and this dude says that he's encountered a Wendigo. Lady was in a laundromat. They asked her about people disappearing because people be disappearing up there. Can't nobody get no answers. Now, I'll dive down that rabbit hole if y'all want me to. Spam it up. And then they start talking about Sasquatches. And she said she's seen all three. The second option they asked her, I can't remember what that one was, but I remember they asked her about people missing and seeing Sasquatches. And she said she's seen people floating up rivers, face down. She's seen Sasquatches. And asked a few other people, and that city was kind of crazy. Ain't no place I plan on going. It's called, it starts with an M. When you analyze somebody, mountain. It's in Humboldt, California. I think it's in Humboldt. Y'all let me know if y'all want me to dive down that rabbit hole. I was stuck on it last night. I was watching it yesterday. Y'all let me know.
After the son went missing, they found photos of the father wearing women's lingerie and eating feces out of diapers. This is the strange and disturbing disappearance of Dylan Redwine. 13-year-old Dylan was court-ordered to visit his father Mark for Thanksgiving, despite begging to not have to go. He lived with his mom Elaine and did not like visiting his father. Mark lived in an isolated area surrounded by miles of woods. Before the visit, Dylan and his brother discovered these shocking photos of Mark. The other one is covered up for a very good reason, but you can Google it. Dylan had secretly taken a photo of what he saw and was planning on confronting his father. His last known whereabouts were on November 18th, 2012 when he arrived in Chicago. Dylan claims they went to Walmart and McDonald's before heading home. He had plans to meet a friend the next morning, but he never showed up. Mark claimed that he left for work early in the morning and that Dylan was asleep. When he returned, Dylan was gone, but Nickelodeon was playing and the front door was open and a fishing pole was missing. Mark seemed oddly unconcerned and took hours before reporting Dylan missing. Authorities initially labeled Dylan as a runaway, but Elaine knew this wasn't true. Another suspicious thing to note is that there was no activity found on Dylan's phone after the night he got home. While they searched and searched for him for months, Mark acted detached and very suspicious. Mark decided to go into Dr. Phil to prove his innocence, but his behavior was cold and unsettling. He refused to take a polygraph test and gave vague, emotionless answers. He later told his ex-wife that if he ever needed to hide a body, he would leave it in the mountains. 7 months later, some of Dylan's remains were found 8 miles from Mark's home. His soul was missing for a while, but 2 years later, hikers discovered it with clear signs of blunt force trauma. On top of this, blood was found in Mark's living room, washing machine, truck, and on his clothes. And when police brought dogs to come sniff around, they detected human remains in his house and truck. Mark bizarrely told his other son that the police would need to find Dylan's skull in order to determine the cause of death. Mark wasn't actually arrested until 2017, which is 5 years after Dylan's murder. Prosecutors determined that he killed Dylan in a fit of rage after being confronted about the photo. Mark dismembered Dylan and scattered his remains throughout the wood. And in 2021, he was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 48 years in prison. The crazy thing is he has never admitted guilt or shown remorse. He put the family through years of suffering and kept lying about what happened. And his murder was entirely preventable. Like, this is so sad. If the child is uncomfortable being around a parent, oh my gosh, like, they should not have to go. Like, he should not have been forced to visit his father. In the end, all Dylan wanted to do was stand up to his dad, and it cost him his life. Come over here for longer freaky videos.
This man is sick, bro. Some people don't deserve to have children. I hate to say that. Some people deserve it. Some people are great parents. But then there's some people in the world, bro, they just don't deserve to have kids. Straight up. You don't have them. That shit crazy. Stuff out of diapers. You dismembered your son out of a fit of rage. What type of shit is that? Nah, it wasn't a fit of... Well, it probably was a fit of rage. But again, like she said, he felt uncomfortable. So he picked up on something that... I mean, damn, the mama should have been thinking, bro. Should have been knowing that was coming. That's... That shit's crazy, bro. That shit's crazy. Rest in peace to the boy Dylan and prayers to the family, man. I'm having deja vu as I said that.
You gotta learn the difference between family and relatives. It's a big difference. Because I got people that's my family that's not related to me at all. That's my brother. There's a difference between friends and associates. Fake friends is like 4 quarters. They had change for $1. I'm gonna say that again.
Oh, wow.
Fake friends is like 4 quarters. They change for $1, man.
This guy dove off a commercial flight to see if the ice wall really existed.
Look, nobody knew I brought a parachute in my carry-on, and we were flying straight between South America and Antarctica, right? I knew it'd be my only chance. I'm standing in the bathroom disassembling the window, parachute on my back, and finally, after prying it open, I kind of take a deep breath and jump like any routine skydive, you know, at 40,000 feet elevation. I knew I was high enough to get beyond an ice wall, if there truly was one. I'd deploy immediately for maximal distance, and God, I soared for hours. By the time I could see the ice wall, I was already several miles beyond it. I mean, I honestly passed out mid-descent from the sheer shock of revelation that it was in fact true. More horrifying than that is I wake up on a forested landmass with what was clearly uncontacted tribesmen not only surrounding me, but staring into the depths of my soul.
But y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But if you haven't subbed up, you watch it on your TV or whatever the case is, I appreciate you as well. I hope you having a smooth 7. Till I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what